For over a century, one company has been in second place and built an empire doing it. This is not a story about losing. This is a story about what happens when second place decides to fight back and refuses to stop. In 1893, a pharmacist in North Carolina named Caleb Bradham started experimenting with drinks at his drugstore counter. He mixed carbonated water, sugar, caramel, lemon oil, nutmeg, and a digestive enzyme called pepsin. He called it Brad's drink. Customers loved it. Word spread through the town, then through the county, then far beyond. In 1898, he renamed it Pepsi Cola. For the next 2 decades, the drink spread steadily. Bottling franchises opened across the American South. The brand was gaining real momentum. Then came World War I. Sugar prices collapsed, then exploded, then collapsed again. Bradham had bet everything on low sugar prices holding steady through the war. They did not. In 1923, Pepsi Cola went bankrupt. Twice in the same decade, Coca-Cola was offered the entire Pepsi brand for almost nothing. They passed. It was one of the most consequential decisions in business history. Because Pepsi did not disappear, it was purchased by a candy manufacturer named Charles Guth in 1931. And Guth did something Coca-Cola never saw coming. During the Great Depression, when every cent mattered, he doubled the bottle size. 12 ounces of Pepsi for the same nickel that bought 6 ounces of Coca-Cola. Twice the drink. Same price. Working-class families across America switched overnight. Pepsi went from bankrupt to profitable in less than 2 years. The taste of desperation had become the taste of opportunity, and the war between these two brands had only just begun. By the 1950s, Coca-Cola dominated everything. It had the history, the nostalgia, the global distribution, the President of the United States drinking it on camera, the Pope blessing it in Vatican photographs. Pepsi had something else. Youth. In 1963, Pepsi launched the Pepsi Generation campaign. Not aimed at everyone. Aimed specifically at young people who did not want what their parents drank. It was one of the first times a brand deliberately rejected part of its audience to completely own another. It worked. Then came 1975. The Pepsi Challenge. Blind taste tests in shopping malls, on camera, in front of complete strangers. 2 unmarked cups. People tasted both, then chose their favorite. More people chose Pepsi. Coca-Cola panicked. In 1985, they did something they had never done in 99 years of business. They changed the formula. New Coke. The public backlash was immediate and historic. People hoarded original Coke, wrote furious letters to the company, accused them of betraying America. Senators mentioned it on the floor of Congress. Within 77 days, Coca-Cola brought back the original formula. Pepsi had not just won a taste test. It had forced its greatest rival into the biggest brand mistake of the 20th century. Today, Pepsi is far more than a drink. It owns Lay's, Doritos, Gatorade, Quaker Oats, Mountain Dew, a food and beverage empire worth over $200 billion. Always second in cola. First in almost everything else. Pepsi never needed to beat Coca-Cola. It just needed to survive long enough to become something much bigger. If you enjoy stories about the ideas that shape the world's greatest brands, subscribe to the channel because the next story is already waiting.